Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we are going to be taking a look at the newest addition to the Monterey Bay Knife lineup. And I gotta say, it's been a minute since Monterey Bay has been on the channel, and that's a damn shame because they do come out with some fantastic designs. If you guys aren't familiar with Monterey Bay, to the best of my knowledge, it's basically just a two-man shop run by Sanford Owen and Ray Laconico, and they come out with some fantastic knives. But this one here, I know I've said this a lot lately. I just said it yesterday about the Giant Mouse Ace Tribeca. This in here is my favorite Monterey Bay knife ever. That says a lot because a lot of them are designed by Ray Laconico, and you guys know how much I like his work. So what we have in here is the very new Monterey Bay Knives Rosalinda. And before I go any further into this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length coming in at 8 inches with a blade length coming in at a nice long 3.75 inches and a blade thickness at 135 thousandths. Blade material on this guy is ZDP 189, but there's a couple special things to note about that we will hit on more when we get to this blade. We have a drop point style blade with a very big swedge. Kind of also adds a little bit of like bayonetish vibes to it a little. I think it's definitely just a drop point, but someone said yesterday in an Instagram post, they're like, yeah, it's kind of got some bayonet vibes, and I see that as well. We have a flat grind with a handle length coming in at 4.25 inches, a handle thickness at 459 thousandths, titanium all over the place, everywhere, as well as on this milled clip. We have a very nice liner lock, inset liner lock, which we will talk a lot more about because this is done very, very, very well. And we have a right hand only tip up carry with a weight coming in at 4.4 ounces, which for this big of a knife, we'll go into more about that when we get to the handle too, because for this big of a knife and all of the titanium and metal on this thing, 4.4 ounces is really, really good. Designed by Ray Laconico, as you can see right here on the spine of the blade, and a price at, given the materials and just what I have in my hand here, $235 is not bad. I think it's priced very well, especially considering some other pricing going on in the knife industry right now. This is, I think, very competitively priced. I have pretty much no issue with the pricing. And on top of the $235, you're getting a great knife, and you're also getting, always nice to see this, a complete full set of extra hardware. Bearings, pivots, extra screws, the stop pin. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yeah, you get all the extra stuff in here. That's really nice. Odds are you may not need any of it, but if you just need one thing in this bag, like just one at any point in time, it's just great to have that. It really is. Comes in so handy. And of course, you get your Monterey Bay Knives cloth, and you get the pouch. So nice little presentation there. The extra hardware is a big winner for me. And now let's talk about this absolute beauty of a blade. And let's start with this blade because we have one long, elegant blade. If I remember right, I believe Rosalinda is named after Ray Laconico's mother. I'm almost positive. I don't have the world's greatest memory, but I could have swore I saw that in a post somewhere that this is kind of like a design in honor of Ray's mother. So if that's the case, I would say he represented Mama very well because this is a beautiful blade. And I definitely, you get motherly vibes in this. I know this sounds stupid, but like the swedge and just like the curvatures on the line, like I see the mother inspiration in this. As ridiculous as it sounds, I see it, I like it, I appreciate that a whole lot. Thumb stud on this, extremely well, placed perfectly. I would expect nothing less from the guys at Monterey Bay. They know just how to put together a well-functioning knife, and you definitely have that with the thumb stud. Really, really love the reverse blade branding here. You know, they could have very easily done that on here or put it right up next to the thumb stud. It would have looked a little crowded. It would have maybe took up a lot of the front blade, and instead of doing that, they kept it nice and just completely clean on the show side and put their great, one of the best logos in the business. I mean that, trying to get it, there we go, the MBK. I love their logo. I love it on blades. I like seeing it, and it's in the perfect spot. Complimentary, not billboardish. Well done, guys. Now the rest of this blade, ZDP 189. The only ZDP 189 you can see on this blade right now is actually under this line here. So what this is, I believe the proper term is laminated ZDP 189. So you have a different type of steel, and to be completely honest with you guys, I don't know what type of steel this is that is laminated on the outside. But on the inside here is the ZDP 189 for the cutting edge, and that is heat treated at 66 to 67 HRC. Two things to note about that. One, 66 to 67 is a nice tight range. You want to see that all the time, really, because any steel, it's not like the heat treat range is good at, like, let's just say 60 to 70. You want to be within 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the most points. You want to be as close as you can. That's what makes the consistency in the steel performance. Obviously, you want to be at the right number too. And 66 to 67 is very hard. Now, I'm not super familiar with ZDP 189. I've heard of it before. I've seen it on some Spydercos. I haven't handled it a whole lot myself. A couple times. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it, but so, if you know more, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to look it up myself as well. Very curious to see how well ZDP 189 at 66 to 67 would sharpen. I wonder if that would be like kind of hard because that's a very hard heat treat, or just how that works. So looking forward to checking that out. But yeah, it's just a beautiful blade with a very good quality heat treatment. Love that 66 to 67. Like, you don't see that a lot. It's usually like 59 to 61 or 59 to 62 or, something like that for like M390 or, it's always wider. To be within 1, that's impressive. That's nice to see. I wish I would see that more. Outside of that, it's just a very, very nice blade. You saw that action. Yeah, we'll talk more about that when we get to the closing, but let's talk about the handle now, because this handle is great. Obviously, as you can see, it's not like there's like all the texturing and everything in the world, but what's on this is a Zerblast, and that's a type of finish on the titanium. And what that reminds me of, because I actually kind of accidentally skipped through size comparisons, which was quite stupid of me. Not surprising, but stupid. Let's take a couple size comparisons right now with a couple knives that remind me of this Zerblast. And I don't know if this is actually a Zerblast as well, but it looks just like it, so I think it is. I should know, I probably should, but hey, yeah, brain fart. So anyway, if Chris Reeve Knives do have a Zerblast, let me know. But here is the Chris Reeve Knives Unumzan as well as the Sebenza. And as you can see, it lines up very well. The Sebenza with that clip doesn't ever want to stand up straight. But as you can see, lines up very well with both the Unumzan and Sebenza. Pretty much, yeah, right there with both of them. Just a hair shorter than both of them. So very nice, long, good size knife. And let's get these closer. I basically just want you to see the finish on the two Chris Reeves compared to the Zerblast on the Rosalinda. And as you can see, a little darker on these two, but you get what I'm going at. It's very similar, very similar. And that Zerblast also gives a little added texture. I'm not going to say it makes it grippy and tacky and something like that, but it definitely eliminates the slickness you would feel on just like regular titanium. Just a very, very subtle extra bit of grip on the handle, which is nice. And it's very subtle. You almost have to handle it to get what I'm saying. But it feels really good. No hot spots. I know some people may be concerned about this because it's technically a point and you're fine. It doesn't bother you one bit. Even if you wrap your index finger right around it, still feels good. The clip is, I've always liked Monterey Bay Knives clips. They're pretty consistent. I think just about all of them look like this, but they're nice. They're simple, they're plain, they're milled, they're contoured on the top. They feel really good in the hand and they look good. So how can you knock that, right? But it's just a very solid handle. And the weight, we're talking 4.4 ounces. And the reason we are talking 4.4 ounces is because of all of the milling. Let's bring out the little O-light again, get a little light going there. And let's hop in and look at all that internal, okay, really? All the internal milling in there. I mean, look at that. The whole show side has a really good amount of internal milling. That takes a lot of weight out. And of course, they did a lot of internal milling on this side to put in the inset liner. And they even put some speed holes there on the back to reduce a little weight from the stainless steel for the inset liner lock. So they did everything they could to reduce the weight on this guy. And I gotta say, they did a really good job of that because this is a very well balanced knife. And for as big as it is, to only be 4.4 ounces is very impressive and very much appreciated. Now, let's talk about this action because this is next level action. The detent. There's two things that make this action pretty crazy. One, it's obviously running on bearings, which a lot of Monterey Bay knives in the past have not run on bearings. Some have, but a lot of my more highly regarded, a lot of my favorite Monterey Bay knives were running on washers, which is fine. I mean, washers are still cool, but look at that. I mean, the bearings are just an absolute game changer. And when you close that liner lock, let's see here, it goes down. I mean, it goes down very quick. It's a guillotine, and it's a fun, fidgety guillotine. You just want to be careful because you'll keep doing this, and eventually you may get caught. But hey, you know what? You can do that if you buy this knife. Now, unfortunately, this knife is out of stock. It sold out, and it didn't sell out like the exact day, but I think it was out for a few days before I bought mine, and then I just checked today before uploading this video, and it is currently out of stock. But I'm still going to link it below because you can hop on, sign up for their email notifications, and you can get notified when this comes back in stock. So don't be stubborn, just be patient, and you can get one. But the thumb studs, oh, they work so good. When it comes to the actual detent itself, it is a little bit on the lighter side. Not too light, but it is on the lighter side, so you can actually front flip it, and you can front flip it pretty easy. Now, they did say that it wasn't intended to be a front flipper, it just happens to work, and that's cool, but I really wish there was a little jimping up here towards the top of this, because as easy as it is to front flip now, you add some jimping to that, and this is a straight up front flipper with just a very minimal front flipper tab, which is awesome. And man, oh man, so good. So good. I guarantee you guys there's going to be more of these coming. They sold out too quick. They're too well received. I am all but certain Sanford and Ray will be bringing these back. So definitely sign up for those email notifications because now that the word's out, the next batch will probably go a little faster than the first batch is my guess. Just my guess. But and deservedly so because man, oh man, is this absolute buttery guillotine fidgety goodness, and you can front flip it. Now I don't think this is oh, it is reach around approved. Surprise. That's the first time I tried it too. The very first time I tried it. So there you go. You have quite the amount of deployment methods with this guy. And while the detent, like I said, is on the lighter side, you can give it a pretty good shake without shaking the blade out. You can shake it out, obviously. It can be done, but I have no issue with the detent. Would it be nice if it was a little heavier? It would be, but then if it was heavier, it would be very hard to front flip it with such a minimal area to front flip it. So, double-edged sword, but the detent is heavy enough for me to still like it. Very nice. Just easily, and I truly mean this is the best Monterey Bay knife to date, for me anyway. I love the design. I like everything about it. And like I said, it's priced very well too. So let me know what you guys think of this. If you don't have one and you want one, hop on down in that link. Sign yourself up for email notifications. It's not an affiliate link. I get nothing for you clicking on any links for this video. But I do like to support good dudes and a good knife company. So definitely check this out, guys. Let me know what you think of the Monterey Bay Knives Rosalinda. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.